question for everyone, especially if you're a mom. When it comes to self-care, do you find you put everybody else and their priorities in front of you and making yourself a priority? Do you struggle with finding time to just take care of yourself? Do you find guilty, like just guilt-ridden when you make self-care part of your everyday life? So these are the topics that Eva and myself are going to cover today about finding mom clarity when it comes to self-care. Hello, Eva. I'm so excited about this conversation because I know, there's times where I have struggled with it myself. I mean, my kids are teenagers now, so not so much, but it's such a true feeling that we as women, we as moms face. So I'm so excited about this conversation that we're going to have today. Hello, Eva, and welcome today here.
Thank you, Tanya, so much for having me here. Yes, I can't wait to talk about this because this is so important, not only to discuss with other fellow moms, regardless of where they are in life or what stage they are in or how old their kids are. I think once you become a mom, it actually becomes front and center to start discussing these things and breaking down any taboos or barriers that they might be regarding the subject itself, which, as you say, can cause a lot of guilt and overwhelm at the same time.
Yeah, so true. And before we dive a little bit deeper, Eva, tell us, where in the world you are from.
Yeah. Well, so I'm originally from Panama, but I currently reside in Singapore. So we made the move based on my husband's career in a way, and it was definitely something that we both were looking forward to. We both like to travel. I especially like to get to know different cultures and places and everything. And it is quite a difference coming from Latin America going to Asia, but nonetheless, I think that if you approach it from an open mindset and from a place of saying, I'm going to see what happens. It's an adventure, and you're really flexible in your approach. It tends to go smoother, I would say. Of course, there are challenges with the way things are done that probably you're not familiar with, or vice versa. But at the end of the day, as I said, taking it with a little bit of humor and flexibility goes a really long way.
Yeah. And, even when you and I first met, we discussed about our own journey, right? And it's often our own journey is how we realize the real need for what we do. Right. And we come to realize that, oh my gosh, we have this gift that we need to share because we know that there's other women that's, are struggling with the same or similar issues. And, that brought you to your journey and, you helping and coaching and being there for moms. And can you share a little bit more about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I basically help female business leaders, mompreneurs, entrepreneurs to really achieve higher levels of confidence, of freedom, and success. And so, by working with them and tapping into the subconscious mind and helping them shift limiting beliefs, it's really a way that they can achieve powerful life and business transformations. And so the tool that I mostly use is hypnotherapy. And it really is working with the subconscious, talking to the subconscious in a way that helps people really just understand that sometimes we carry blueprints and they're adopted from a time when we didn't even know that we're doing it. And so they can start creating this snowball effect that is so unnecessary. So once you're able to see those blind spots for what they are, the breakthroughs are limitless. And it's just so empowering, as you say, in my journey from what I've lived personally and now what I'm doing with other fellow moms, to give them that opportunity to say, oh my God, it doesn't need to be harder than necessary, right? It
Yeah.
doesn't need to be more challenging than what it is, because life is what is. And we don't need to add that element of suffering. As the saying goes, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we tend to carry this baggage that creates that suffering. And if I can reach out and help facilitate these powerful shifts in them, because it's all they're doing, it's as long as you have the willingness to come on board and to be humble enough to say, hey, you know what, I am struggling. It is not turning out to be as easy as I thought, and I am willing to look beyond conventional wisdom to see if there's anything else, or probably go one layer deep. Then that's all you need to really shift things around.
Yeah. And you're so true when we relate that to self-care, right? We think we have to do it a certain way because that's how they're seeing everybody else do it. And when they fail, because that's what's in their mind, when they fail at doing that guilt, right? And then they struggle with it. And then it's like, oh, I know I need to take care of myself because I'm just, overload with the stress, but I don't know how to do it. I tried it and it didn't work. We get it in our mind as moms that, we have to do it a certain way, and we have to do it so long, and we have to just stick with it even though it's not working, right? And that clarity is what creates I'm going to say a peace within yourself, or a tranquility to realize that, okay, doing it this way didn't work, but what's something that will uplift me, that will help me to take care of myself? And whether that's, if your kids are playing a sport and, we see moms sitting at the sidelines, we'll take that opportunity and just breathe, or go for a walk while you're there. You can still watch your kids playing the sport. If you're in an arena, go up and down the stairs. You can still watch them, practicing. And, maybe it even is a matter of waking up 15 minutes early and taking time to, okay, how do I feel today? What do I need to give myself? I'm going to enjoy this tea or this coffee. I'm going to gratitude journal. That is self-care, right? And do you find too, Eva, that, these moms are finding that it has to, or they have it in their mindset. Again, it could be, like you said, a blueprinted in their mind because their mom never took care of themselves. So why do I feel I need to take care of myself?
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely. You have really highlighted something that is so very true. It's almost as if the consensus of hustle culture is like a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And burnout is something that just implies that you are a warrior, and that you are giving it all in the battlefield almost, without realizing that running yourself to the ground is a big disservice, not only to you, but to your family and to your kids, right? You're not giving them the opportunity of self-care and self-love to them at the same time. So buying into that belief that you need to merely cope and survive, at least until the kids are out of the house. Sometimes we also buy into that narrative of saying like, well, I just need to, hold down the fort until they're old enough, and then I'll take care of myself, and then I'll look for help, or then I'll deal with my own things. It's also buying into that narrative that there is some sort of honor in sticking it out in silence, and in your own shell, without seeking help. Like that somehow is a sign of weakness. And it's all the contrary. It actually shows that you have enough mental intelligence and emotional intelligence to say, you know what, this is not working, and I'm willing to look into that a bit further. I want to teach my kids what it feels like to take a breather. What does it feel like to say, you know what, right now I really need to rest and pause and reset. And as you say, whatever that is. And sometimes all it takes is a couple of breaths, as you say. All it takes is putting a little bit of that space.
Yeah.
Or, as you beautifully said, sometimes all it takes is just 10 minutes earlier than waking up 10 minutes earlier than your kids, just to have that buffer of putting an intention, or at least to not wake up chaotic and making the rest of your day feel stressful and rushed and like you have to hit the ground running.
Yeah. It's so true. As you were, talking, some things came to my mind, and it's something that I have always valued myself. And again, it comes from, your own journey, right? That I mentioned my kids are teenagers now, 16 and 19, but, from day one, I made self-care a priority. And I find in doing so, you're able to better take on stress.
Yeah.
You're better able to go throughout the day. And when you as a mom take care of yourself, then your kids are seeing that. It doesn't matter, they always say what your kids see is what they perceive and what they take in. So
Right.
if I would not have ever taken care of myself, and I'm telling my kids to take care of themselves and do this, and they would say, well, why are you telling us, you're not even doing that? That's what would happen, right? But when they've seen me throughout, and still to today, every day make time for myself and doing something for my wellness, taking care of myself, that has set them up for success. That has set them up for taking care of themselves. So, so your kids are younger, and it's, so important, right? It's this journey that our kids will be with us,
Yes.
hopefully until the end of our own life, right? And
Right.
I feel that
Yes.
self-care needs to happen. And your kids are younger, Eva, so you're making self-care a part of your routine. And well, what makes you continue to love the fact that you're including self-care every day in your routines?
Oh, well, as you say, it really touches every single point of my day and of my life and of my relationships.
Yeah.
It really allows me to be the best version of myself on that day. And if I am able to show up intentionally, if I'm able to show up with aligned, inspired action in what I need to do next, be it in my business or be it on how do I need to, talk to my kids or approach a certain situation with my spouse. If I'm able to tap into that, then what happens is that I'm automatically free. And that is the exciting part of it. Why do I say that? Why do I say that I'm free when I take the time and the space to do self-care? Is because then you don't get triggered as much, right? Or it's to a lesser extent, and you don't overreact.
Yeah.
And then because mom guilt is real, like we already are unnecessarily feeling guilty about so many things all the time, thanks to the media, thanks to what the neighbor is saying, thanks to what somebody commented on or posted, whatever it is. And it's we have to counteract because it's a 24/7 bombarding. We are tethered to our phones, we're tethered to our computers, and we are connected to the world, and the world says things, and we turn on our phones in the morning, and immediately there's chats, there's comments, there's messages, there's everything, and it's already setting up a rhythm and an energy, right? So the question is, do you want to be carried into that, where all of a sudden you're not even fully awake, and you start to see comments, somebody replied something, maybe you're reading it half asleep, and you're making you have a certain viewpoint at that time because you're hungry or you didn't sleep well or whatever. And do you want to now set the tone for your day with that type of energy, or do you want to be intentional and say, no, I'm going to show up and wake up as relaxed as I can, or as grounded as I can possibly do. And at the end of the day, when I go back to sleep on that day, I'm going to say like, wow, I did well. I was, I reacted well. I knew what to say. I was in alignment. I was I was perfectly in tune with what needed to be done according to what was going on in real time.
Yeah.
And I can go to sleep not having that rumination of, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have reacted that way. I'm damaging my kids for life, and all these other things that keep on piling on and on and on. So to your point, it is a matter of almost a responsibility that you have with yourself, but also with the world, to say the world is already so chaotic and overwhelming, and the news nowadays, right? What we're facing, what is happening right now. You have to put in your grain of salt. What is your little grain of sand? Is okay, let me put on some positivity, like some real alignment within myself,
Yeah.
and help that spread around.
It is all about choices, right? It's the choices we make. It's so true. People, the first thing they wake up, they grab their phone. Like, well, I've made a choice. I've always made the choice. And it's such an important choice for my mindset, for my self-care, for loving myself, to begin my day in a positive, I'll say, positive atmosphere. So when I wake up, I open my blinds, even though if it's still dark out. I stretch actually before I go to bed, but then I go down and I make a warm lemon water and I gratitude journal. When that's all done, I make my green tea. And then if I need to go, check something on my phone, I will. But taking that 15 minutes in the morning and just focusing on myself and giving myself what I need has already given me this inner strength to go about the day, and that's what motivates me to get up in the morning is, get to write my gratitude. It's that my time I'm making for myself, and there's some other underlying issues too that, that's part of a wellness routine as well. And Eva, I'd love to know, in a short words as well, what motivates you simply to get up in the morning?
Well, obviously, my family, my kids, right? I want to see I want them to see the best version that I can be for them, for their sake. But also the fact that what motivates me is when I work with clients, because of the work that I do, I need to respect that relationship by not bringing my own baggage into what I do. So I need to be a blank canvas for them, right? So they can really do their healing, they can really do their transformation. And if I don't do that, then it creates this sense of they're not getting what they need. It's a disservice, it's disrespectful, I feel, but also it just overall nobody wins. So for me, that aspect of saying like, oh my God, I'm going to get up and I'm going to be able to facilitate someone having a breakthrough, someone having a transformation, a mom that from now on is going to look at life a little bit brighter, a little bit different, a little bit better for herself and her kids. And knowing that then that becomes a domino effect down the line. Oh my God, that really speaks to my purpose and to my life's purpose of helping, but also it's an amazing gift. Like I get a lot of energy from doing that. So that's also really a motivating force to know that day I'm going to touch someone's life and it's going to have an impact, maybe not the biggest one ever, but at least it's going to have a cascading effect on them, hopefully. And for me, that really it just gets me energized, gets me inspired.
Nice. And, I hear too that, that motivation is to get up in the morning, take care of myself, to become a better version of myself, right? So important. And, we all have challenges in life, Eva, right? And, I'm going to kind of wrap two questions into this. Okay. So, we have personal challenges, but at the same time, we need to overall stay positive, no matter how negative things might be out there, or no matter how dark we might feel. So, what's one of the biggest personal challenges, feel free to share, that you're having right now, but at the same time, you're able to stay positive, even though that's a big challenge?
For me, the biggest right now is to have that face-to-face connection with friends, with family members that we haven't been able to see because of travel restrictions, and it's really hard. It's really hard. You can have as many Zoom calls as you want, but nothing trumps a warm embrace, a hug, a kiss, like a shared
Nice.
laughter in
Yeah.
real life, like so for me that has been quite hard to be close to my friends that are unfortunately not here with me, or family members that I wish that I could really see in person and have conversations with. And yes, to your point, right? Like, how do you maintain that positive outlook? Is just saying, you know what, we need to stay safe, and we need to stay positive. That also helps your immune system anyway, so you are helping yourself in the long run. And just treasuring the moments that you do have in the
Yeah.
present with the people that are around you. So maybe there's quite a few people in my life that I would like to have near and dear to me in this moment, physically speaking. But guess what? There are other people that are here, and I need to take advantage of that, in the sense that it's an opportunity for also enjoying that, right?
Yes.
And sometimes it's not how you think you want it, it's how it's presenting itself, that it's the gift, and you have to
Nice.
allow it to flow.
Yeah, flow, right? It's sometimes we hesitate to allow flow to happen, but it's so
Yeah.
important. It flows for a reason, so just let it happen. So Eva, as we're drawing, our conversation to an end, there's, three specific questions I'm excited to ask you, because they're
Okay.
kind of more of on a personal side, I'll say. So we all have, quotes that we absolutely just love, and they stick with us. So what is one quote, Eva, that you totally love?
Oh my God, the one that I use all the time, I also use it with my kids.
Yeah.
It's you do you.
Ah, nice.
You
I
do
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that because it's a simple quote, but yet it's really deep at the same time, because it can be
Mhm.
applied to so much within
Yeah.
ourselves and so much in our life. So nice. What about advice? What's the number one advice? I know you've shared lots, but what's one specific thing
Mhm.
that you want to focus on, that, it's advice you want to share to our moms out there?
Advice that I would like to tell them is to look at themselves in the mirror, if they can, every morning, possibly, and just say out loud, "I am enough. I am enough."
Yeah.
It carries so much power to say those words, because there's nothing else needed. And when you are not needing that validation, when you're not needing to find that security from outside, because you know that everything is inside of you, because you are enough and you're capable of doing and achieving whatever you want,
Yeah,
that carries itself such a powerful energy that it really sets you up for that day, for the week, for the months ahead.
it does.
So just look at yourself in the mirror and just say from a very authentic place, because you are enough. You are showing up every day, and sometimes some days are harder than others.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. Not everything is unicorns and rainbows, but knowing that you are enough means that you get to do it the day after and the day after and the day
Yeah.
after, hopefully better and better and better each and every day. But all you have is inside of you anyway.
Yeah.
So you can do this.
And the ability to take care of yourself. You have
Yeah.
that ability to do, nobody can do it for you. So
Right.
be happy with who you are, and include taking care of yourself, to allow yourself to
Mm-hmm.
believe in who
Yeah.
you are, right? That you are
Yes.
enough. So if this was the last day of your life, Eva, and you cannot include family, because we as women, we as moms always will say, well, our family. So we cannot
Right.
include family as the answer. So what's one thing, Eva, that you would be grateful for if this was the last day of your life?
just the opportunity to have helped the people that I have, and to have crossed their path, and knowing that they are breathing a little bit better from doing this work, and from allowing me the opportunity to be the facilitator, right? I don't take the credit at all. I think that it is within that person and their unique relationship to the divine or God or the universe or whatever it is that they believe in that really creates the miracles in life. I
Yes.
do think so. But sometimes you get to be that little catalyst for someone. You get to play a little bit of that role. And so I am very, very thankful for having this opportunity. And if this were my last day on earth, I would say, oh my God, I have been so blessed to at least have helped the people that I have, and for them to have given themselves that opportunity and allowing me that opportunity, of course. So yes, that's definitely one thing that I would be happy, dying with a smile on my face.
Lovely, lovely. Well, Iva, thank you so much for your time. I thoroughly enjoyed conversation, and the pure message of moms out there, women out there, really take the time to acknowledge who you are and love who you are, and make self-care a priority, because that's when you become stronger, and that's when you believe in yourself, because your overall outlook on life, your overall outlook on yourself becomes stronger no matter what is happening around you. So thank you everyone as well for listening and being here. And of course, validate who you are, make self-care priority. Go to bed tonight and think about the best thing that happened. And when you wake up in the morning, think about what you're grateful for. This is Tanya Otterstein-Liehs and Iva saying thank you very much. Until another episode, take care. Bye-bye. Bye, Iva.
Bye-bye. Thank you, Tanya.